Hey guys, so in my last video I mentioned something about a RuPaul's Drag Race review for all you fans out there. And since I just watched the latest episode, which I believe was episode 6, yeah, I thought like I might do it now. So why not? I haven't watched Untucked yet, so I don't have like any feelings about that yet. I might watch it and then put it in the video later. So I'm gonna get started. So I'm reading the synopsis because I watched it, then went out and then came back. So I kind of like I'm a little like shaky on it, but what they start with is you see the queen's coming back, and it's after Miss Kasha Davis's elimination, which I was a little bit upset about because I know a lot of people are on that whole like Candy Ho shouldn't be there, but I mean we kind of get that in this episode. But I like my feelings about Candy Ho are just kind of like I think there's a lot, like, Miss Kasha Davis should have stayed there for, I kind of really want to see her for Snatch Game also, because I think she would have done something really eclectic, really, like, kooky, or, like, she would have done a good job at it, because that kind of seemed to be, like, her whole forte, her whole shtick, so I was waiting for that, so I was a little upset seeing her go, and when the girls come back, you don't see them talk about her that much, like, when the queens leave, usually, you get, like, a little bit of conversation about that queen, like, how they felt, everything, like, oh, I missed her, whatever. You don't see, like, that much of that. But what we do see is they congratulate congratulate? Is that a word? Congratulate. Whatever. Congratulate Pearl and Max on their win last week, doing the Despy Awards. And right when they say something to Pearl, she's like, I love Pearl. Pearl's Pearl and Katya are my favorites of the season so far. So you see kind of Miss Fame throwing some shade at Pearl, and I think it was edited that way. I don't think it was actually like Miss Fame trying to, like, because Miss Fame's kind of like the person, I don't think she tries to throw any shade, but like sometimes her things come like off like a little weird, but I love her. I think she's hilarious, and lately I've been loving her, especially like because her personality has been shining through a lot. This episode was kind of like funny with her. I was laughing a lot, but so then we get into the mini challenge after that, where everyone was congratulated, everything. They get into the mini challenge, and it's actually kind of funny. They line up a good, like, 15 of the pit crew members in just, like, their little underwear things, and they're all standing there, and Rue tells them that they have to basically pick, like, guys and hope that they get a number instead of like a little monster, and you keep picking guys until you get like the desired number you want, because it's like you pick a guy and it's like 9, and you pick another guy, it's like 8, then you add those together and that's like 17, right? And so you keep going up unless you get a monster, then you stop. But if you get to a certain, like, amount you want, and, like, you think that's a good amount, you say, like, I'm just going to end it here. And so, like, all the queens go through. All of the queens except for Ginger get the monster at one point. So they're, like, they don't even count. Ginger, I think, gets to 24, and she says, I'm going to stay. Smart move. All the other queens should have done that, too. But I don't think anyone else reached higher than that anyways. So she would have won anyways. Yeah, because she's the only one that doesn't hit the monster, and she does say, I'm going to stop there. So she wins the mini challenge, and because she wins, she has the opportunity to pick the teams, pick her team and pick the other queen's teams for the actual, like, main challenge. So she picks to be on her team Kennedy Davenport and Katya. It was Katya, right? Was it Katya? Am I getting this totally wrong? No, it was Kennedy and Katya. It was Kennedy and Katya, yeah. And good job for picking Katya. I think if I won that, I would have gone straight for Katya and Max. Even though Max, I don't think she did this well in that challenge. Like, we saw those two as like the prevailing like acting queens who have done really, really well in the acting challenges. Max being on top in like a lot of them. So that's the team I would have gone for. So yeah, I think that was a safe choice for her. But then she made the other teams. She paired, I have to remember for this one. I know she put Pearl and Miss Fame together, and that was kind of like, that caused some tension. Not tension really. Miss Fame was a little like thrown off by it. But I always thought they'd be good friends. But it was Miss Fame, Pearl, and who else was it? Oh my god, why can't I remember these things? Miss Fame, Pearl. Okay, the other team was Miss Fame, Pearl, and no, it wasn't Jane Deovers. The other team was Violet, Candy Ho, and Max. Violet, Candy Ho, and Max. Yes. And so Pearl's team was Pearl, Violet, Candy Ho, and Max. Ah! I have to look this up. Candy and Jaden. I'm going crazy right now. What is it? I don't wanna. I'm stronger than I'm before. Okay, I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking so hard right now. I'm blanking. Okay, we get the gist. Whatever. So, then we get into the main challenge. Okay, the teams were Violet, Max, and Candy Ho. Yeah, Violet, Max, and Candy Ho. Pearl, Miss Fame, and Jade Dior Fierce. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm like hung up on that. I just wasted a shitload of time. Anyway, so they get into the main challenge. They're all like working on it, and then we see a moment in the group. Yeah, it was Jane Dior Fierce with Pearl, because we see that moment they're in the groups together, and Pearl was getting really excited about it, which I thought was so cute. But then Jane was like, "Let's like work on the lines," which is obviously proven to be like an important thing, because like in past challenges, a lot of the queens can't remember their lines, and even in this one, like people couldn't remember their lines. But I mean, it must be tough. They have like barely any time to remember anything, so. They're all in the room memorizing their lines, everything, and they're getting ready to go in and meet Ross Matthews. Ross Matthews, that's his name, right? He's basically gonna be there like on the side while they film and everything. And so the first team to go in is I believe Katya's team, the winning team, and they go in and they do pretty good when they first go in. Like there was no like I mean. I think it was a factor of memorizing lines. I think it was with Kennedy Davenport. Katya and Ginger did a pretty good job. They were doing like very good. We saw Ginger go in with what Katya would say, like the Danny DeVito drag. Like she had that accent. It was very funny. Both of them were. I love Katya anyways. So then we have Kennedy Davenport, who just can't seem to like deliver a Rue like you'd expect her to. Like it was a very strange Rue, and even Katya was saying so. Like she was very robotic, and I don't know if she was just forgetting her lines, but it was just very robotic. And like I guess Rue's kind of hard to embody, but yeah, she didn't like I don't know, wasn't characterized very well. But their team overall, you could tell, like they said, like I'm praying that she doesn't land us in the bottom, but like you could tell they were going to be like at least safe for the winners, because they did good. They had Katya and Ginger, so from the top, like you knew they were fine, because you knew someone was going to fuck up later. Then we got to, I believe it was. Pearl's team was last. Was it? Pearl's team was next, because then we had that whole breakdown by Miss Fame, which had me laughing so hard, because I just love Miss Fame. She's a kooky character. How was it? What's her name? I was going to say Michelle Visage, but Pearl, as Michelle, did a very, very good job. I think she delivered. Her Michelle Visage reminded me a lot of Sharon Needles' Michelle Visage from the Snatch Game, season 4, because she had the same kind of like voice. It's not really Michelle Visage, but it's really funny. Yeah, so I thought she did a good job. And who else was on that team? I keep forgetting. Jane Dior Fierce also did not deliver like a very good RuPaul at all. I think it might be hard to embody her. But then we get Miss Fame, who keeps forgetting her lines, and it's just funny, like, what she does. She goes on this whole, like, rant about, she's like, I'm so, like, I just want to be here. I just, like, I don't, like, I'm so frustrated because I want to be successful and all this. And it's like, oh, my God. And she goes on for, like, 5 minutes just talking. And Ross Matthews is trying to, like, talk to her, but she just keeps talking. Then at one point, he's just, like, straight face, I feel like I'm married to you. Like, or I feel like I'm dating you. Because that's exactly how it is. She's just, like, spilling out her emotions. She still doesn't, like, get it. She just kind of, like, goes on, you know how she is, like she goes on and says, I don't know whether to be emotional right now or like just say it. And then you see Pearl and she's like, just say the goddamn line. Like, what is she doing? I just thought it was funny, and like I don't know, Miss Fame is like so cute with her little like airhead act, I guess. Not even airhead, she's just like so in her own head. She's so funny. I love her, and I honestly like I don't know. There's more to her than meets the eye. Like when she first came in, like everyone was saying, oh, she's just pretty, she just has looks, but she's proven to be funny in challenges, and she's proven to just have like a very like great personality. Like that whole chicken thing is what kind of took me over the edge with her. Like I loved her after that. Like I loved her, and I loved her before the whole show too, because I was watching her videos. But like in the beginning of the show, what really threw me off, like when the whole season started, is when she took Max's thing, but she explains this in a podcast. and tries to blot it. They edited her to look so bad. But from at that point, I was like, oh, she's just there to be pretty. She's just like, she doesn't know what she's doing. Then I saw like her personality shine through. She is so funny. Like, this girl is hilarious. Anyways, I'm going off. So she had her little moment, but they turned it out. They did okay. They weren't bottom like material, but I don't think they did by groups. They only did like you're safe by group. But because Miss Fame does end up in the bottom 3, I believe. But then moving on to the next group, it was Candy. I keep forgetting. Candy, Violet, and oh my goodness, who was the last one? Candy, Violet, and Max. Max. Okay, we start off with their thing. And I don't think I even explained this challenge to you guys, but if you've seen it, you probably know. Basically, what they had to do was, if you've watched season 1 and 2, you saw that there was a judge, Merle Ginsburg, who was from the show. She was from a show that I watched. I think she was on, it was like on Bravo, a fashion show. I think she's a designer, right? Or something like that. So, she was a judge, one of the judges with Santino on, seasons 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden you see Michelle come in, season 3, and Merle's gone, and it was all about why Merle left, and why Michelle, like, came in, and they just kind of, like, made, like, a whole spoof on it, like, the girls were supposed to act out, like, what, like, Michelle's side, Merle's side, and then Rue's side. So each team had like a different one, and I can't remember who did what. I just know that I can't remember. Sorry. So then we get to the third group, which I told you was Max, Violet, and Candy Ho. And let's see. We start off with Max. She's Merle. We start off with Max, and I know that she likes to characterize, like, her things, and, like, she comes in with this, like, strange act, and she's saying, well, it's from Michelle's side, but it was just strange, like, I didn't even, like, understand where she was coming from with it, like, it didn't make any sense to me, and you could see, like, her really trying, like, trying to characterize it, and she was funny, like, she did her acting well, it was just, like, I don't know where it came from, like, it was just, like, the mannerisms and everything was just so, like, what? But, I didn't think she did, like, terribly. It was odd for me. And then we get to Violet. Violet was good. I think Violet was good. She was just there, kind of. And then we get to Candy Ho, who I don't think any of the girls who played Rue did her justice. Well, you can't do Rue justice, probably. But they didn't do Rue, like, as Rue. It was very, like, robotic. But she was probably, like, the worst out of the 3. And she kept forgetting her lines, I believe, which is a big thing when it comes to Drag Race, because sometimes when they edit the videos, if you don't get it right, they'll put in the one where you messed up. We saw it with Jane Dior Fierce, I believe, like, you see when they play in the big screen in front of all the judges, she's pausing for, like, a good 5 seconds and trying to remember her line, and like, you can tell. But, yeah, so that was basically the main challenge. It was an acting challenge. Again, which I don't understand why they're doing so many acting challenges. Like, I want to see I think the reason, like, I like the fashion challenges is because the season they had Raja, like, you saw so many of those, like, amazing, like, that. There's so many iconic looks that come from that season because you had so many fashion episodes. Maybe I'm just, like, reminiscing, like, nostalgia. But, like, I just want more fashion, like, episodes. And you obviously know next episode's going to be Snatch Game. So, like, after that, you're going to be left with, like, how many queens? 7, I think. And then it's, like, from there on, you're going to be fashion. So they separate, like, acting, fashion. I don't know. I wish it was, like, more intertwined with each other. Because there's girls there who are more fashion. It's kind of giving, like, an slight upper hand to the comedy queens. And although people do tend to like the comedy queens more, like, there's, like, being a fashion queen and being a comedy queen, like, one's not higher than another. It's just 2 different styles. And people, like, forget to see that. People automatically think in the game, like, you're a comedy queen, you're better. Because you can do more. But, like, some of the comedy queens can't do fashion like the fashion queens can, so... The glamour queens, sorry. So that's just my little rant. I love comedy queens, though. We get to the runway, and the theme was Death Becomes Her. I haven't seen it, so I couldn't tell you. But the theme, although it was Death Becomes Her, is, like, how would you die? And before a commercial break, you get this clip of Kennedy Davenport... And there's, like, flaming... I could not stop laughing. Oh, my God. I was dead by this point. She's in this, like, flaming chicken costume. That's what it looks like. And you see Michelle Visage. She has her commentary. She's like, is that, like, a chicken or something? And I just start laughing because she looks... it's funny as fuck. I'm sorry. Like, I was like, what are you doing? This challenge death. She explains it later and it makes a little more sense. But when you first hear, like, it's like, how do you die and you look like a flaming chicken? Like, I don't get it. But that was, like, a funny commercial break. Funny, like, way. Smart way to do that. And then we come back and we get all the looks. And I want to say who were my favorite looks. Katya wins for the look. Well, for everything. But Katya first comes out with, it was really funny. She made a really funny reference, I think, to Sharknado, which is obviously a terrible movie. The one with the sharks flying around, or Tornado or whatever. And she has, like, a shark on her leg, and she's coming, like, a sailor outfit. And it's really funny. Like, it's something you wouldn't expect. Like, in a death thing, people are going to do, like, fire, like, a axe in your head, like Miss Fame did. But I thought she looked beautiful. I thought that was, like, a very creative, like, take on it. One that really stood out, and this is the one we saw in the promos from, like, a long time ago. Violet's waist. Holy shit. Holy shit. Like, how does that happen? Her waist is crazy. Like, crazy. And everyone gasped. Like, what the heck? You see her walk down the runway with her waist, like, that big. Like, girl, she did it for me. She did good on that. She looked good, too. So that was a good one on her. Who else stood out to me? What did Pearl wear? I don't remember what Pearl wore. Oh, you know who stood out for me? Max. Max looked absolutely stunning. That outfit was gorgeous. And I don't care if Michelle Visage. I love Michelle Visage, but I don't care if she wore gray hair. She looked good. That hair matched that dress. And then you get that hint of blood, hint of red. It looked beautiful. It looked absolutely beautiful. Max knows how to look stunning. That's the one thing. Like, she looks like a work of art, you know? Like an Italian Renaissance painting or something. She looks beautiful all the time. And even when there's, like, a little shtick to it, it's really funny. Like, we saw, like, with the bearded challenge, like, that was, like, what's it called? Like, there was a theme there. Like, a very, like, prominent, like, funny theme. Not funny, I don't know. You know what I mean. And she made it beautiful. Like, I don't know. She's good at that. She's good at her runway stuff. She looks like a model. She reminds me a lot of, like, Raja in the way, like, she's just tall, slim, and then, like, she's very good, like, fashionably, all that kind of stuff, and I love me some Raja. So, where are we now? Okay, those are the people who stood out for me. Then we get to the judging. Ariana Grande bothered the shit out of me. How do you say her name? Grande? I don't know. But, and Katya wins her first challenge. I absolutely love Katya. I think she deserved it. And I think she deserved a lot in the, like, past, too. Like, her tan mom's dance or whatever. That was the funniest thing. Like, that did not get the recognition it deserved. She was so fucking funny during the Tan With You song, which I thought was fucking the funniest out of all of them, by the way. Going back to that. Trixie shouldn't have left. Anyways, yeah, Katya wins her first challenge. She gets, like, a 2,000 gift card to, like, a fabric store, which I guess is awesome, but more than anything, she won, which she deserved, and I see her going far, definitely. Like, she's funny. She's so funny, and I love her, and she's glamorous, and, oh, I can't even tell you. If I was a drag queen, I'd aspire to be like her. And then we have, going down to the bottom three, everyone's safe, whatever, and that whole team, it was, like, Ginger, Katya, and Kennedy are all safe. Like, they don't even get any of it, even though Kennedy should have gotten a talking to. They're all safe. They're out of it. Then everyone's safe until you get down to Miss Fame, my baby. And then the bottom two, which end up being Candy Ho and Jaden Dior Fierce. And let me tell you, this lip sync though, Jaden Dior Fierce, she was fierce. They did it to Ariana Grande's Break Free. I think that's the song. I'm not sure. You heard it all over the radios, but holy shit, like, you see, Candy Ho starts off the whole thing, she's like, there's no way I'm gonna let Jaden beat me, and Candy's a fierce lip syncer, like we saw in the last episode, like, through the lip sync, she deserved to stay, but through everything else, she didn't. Her lip sync was fire, like, when she gets on that floor, and she, like, turns her head to, like, the screaming, you know what I'm talking about, but this week, you see her, like, she's confident in her lip sync, which she should be, she's a fierce lip syncer. But then you see Jaden Dior Fierce, and you don't expect it at first, but she's, like, tearing up this stage, like, she's hitting those marks, like, her dance moves, like, Candy Ho's just kind of walking around trying to be sexy with it, which she was, but I think it was kind of more of a high energy thing, which you saw a lot with Jaden. She just, like, she hit it, and you could tell she wanted to be there, so I was really proud of her in that moment. I loved it. I thought that was a good lip sync too. It wasn't boring or anything. It was good, and it was a good song to do too. And overall, you see Candy Ho sachets away, and during Your Fears, Shantae, you stay. And I think that was a good decision. It was Candy Ho's time to go, probably earlier too, but she was a fierce contender. But girl, there's fiercer people. Okay. So yeah, those were my feelings on the whole show. I'm sorry if that ended up being very, very long. I'm doing it to like taking it from memory. I spent a good like 5 minutes thinking about who was like in which group. And I didn't explain it very well, but those are just my thoughts. This is my first review of many. I will be reviewing every episode from now on, and they will get better and better. And I love RuPaul's Drag Race. Overall season stuff. Since I'm starting now, I might as well give you like my season like predictions. Like my hope for top 3 would be Pearl, Katya, and probably Max. Those are my like top 3. I absolutely love them. I know a lot of people are like, voting for like the older queens, but I don't know. I love like the younger ones, and Katya's not considered one of the younger ones, but I love her. She's not considered one of the older ones either. Like I absolutely love Katya. I can't even explain. Oh, have you ever looked through her Instagram? Because it's fucking funny. Let me tell you, and her Twitter, like she makes me laugh like no other. I'm going on right now, but yeah. And Pearl's like a sweet, and it's not just because Pearl's the hottest guy ever. Like, Pearl, like what I see in him is like a hint of Adore, like kind of like the young, like naive, like rocky start, and then you kind of see him be a black horse through the competition, if you know what I mean. Dark horse, where he kind of like. He's starting to shine a lot. And we saw like last episode he won, and he did pretty good this episode. And so that's why I really, really like her, because I've always liked the underdog kind of like thing. So I see a little bit of a door in him. So that's why I like him. And then Max is just very like polished with everything, which I've always liked. Kind of like a Chad Michaels-esque kind of thing. Even though he's like young, just like polished with what he's doing. He's very like he knows what he's doing. He has like a role and he sticks to it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my hopes for the future. And if you guys share them, you can leave comments below. And I'm happy to be doing these now every week, so I can get my feelings out. Because nobody I know watches this, and I can't just like explain my feelings. I need to get them out. Okay. Thank you guys, and I hope you liked it.